Boy, it is a hot one today. It is 118 outside with about 35 humidity. I mean, it is hot, it is sticky. I am in the garage, I was doing some work, I figured I'd take a break, and I kind of wanted to share this coin. I really like this coin. This came from the Batang-Hari inlet wreck in Indonesia, and it's one of my personal favorites. I've gotten a number of really nice pieces from that shipwreck. And I've had to clean every one of them myself. My divers, they don't clean any of the coins. The coins always come raw, and I have to clean them. So when this was cleaned and I got to really see it, I was very excited about this coin. It's beautiful. So what we have is a 1610 8 reales from the Mexico Mint. The assayer is F, which is Francisco de Morales. The king is King Philip III, and we know that because of the date. Unfortunately, there is no Philip and there is no ordinal on the obverse of this coin. The coin number is 217600C, and if I didn't note it already, it is 25.21 grams. It is possible that this is an F over A, but I can't be 100% sure. I'm like maybe 25% that it could be F over A, and I'll show you in a second. Now, I wanted to point out something because the diver thought this was a 1618 and was trying to really get a lot of money out of me for that. But there is no 1618F. Another diver was saying that it was 1616, but it's not 1616. And the reason we know that is looking at the reverse, number one, this particular style of lion, which I call the house cat style lion, this was used from the 1590s with assayer F, and I know this because I have an 8 reales that shows F over O, and the reverse is very similar to this. It's a little nicer and it's a little more compact, but it's got the same lion punches and a castle that's very similar. So we know that right away. The cross as well is an indicator, and this border is an indicator. We have oblong dots, which do not exist after 1613. So 1613 to 1617, coins of assayer F have round, like perfectly round spherical dots in the border. They are no longer this elongated style border. This changed in 1612 to 1613. So like you'll still find some coins 1612, 1613 that'll have a reverse or did use the elongated, but for the most part, from 1611 to 1613, the coin design was changing, so we see a lot of changes. And as noted, the house cat lion was not used following 1611. And if it was, I've never seen an example. It's always possible, but I've never seen an example. I've seen a lot of them. If you're anything like me, you probably scour over images and collect, and you try to look at as many of these types of coins as possible. So yeah, in all my searching in all my years, I've never seen one. So we're going to look at the obverse and look at the date here, and you can kind of see, because there's a little facet here, you can see why they kind of thought this may have been a 1618 or a 1616. Number one, a 1616 I do have, and a 1616 is rare. But one of the things I think that may have not only just been the facet, but is the doubling of the O here. Kind of gives like there's a little bit of a tail leading out here. Unfortunately, it's not. Another thing worth noting is that the eye, at least on the one I have, and a couple other issues, the 1615 and 1613, the eye punch is broken. So you only have the serif on the one side. And I'll have to show that in a different video. So again, we can see we have the oblong border. And now this is something that's definitely worth noting with this series of F, is that when we get to 1613 to 1617, the crown is completely different in that the lower arching bar is no longer part of the crown, nor are these vertical decorative lines here. These are completely gone. So what we have is a crown that is basically just this right here. You don't see this anymore following 1613. 1613 issues, in fact, most of them don't even have it. So it really begins in 1612, I should say. There are some issues that do have this full crown still, but I'm trying to think of one. I've got a 1612/11, for example, that is an 11 and has a different, the crown with the arching, and then another that has this lower bit here. So when they changed this, I don't exactly know, but it's definitely between 1611 and for sure by 1613 to 1617. So there's a number of things on it, really, that give it away. I mean, a number of things. The birds here in Naples, Sicily, are facing left, as they are in Tyrol, right there. These are all the same punch, by the way. So this bird here is the same stamp as this. So these two are from one stamp. And they punched it there, they punched it there, and then they punched it there. And you can see here with the mint mark, this O for the OM was used, the O right there, to make the O in the date, most likely just because that was what was out and that is what they used. Because it's weird that they didn't use this one here, which would have been a much larger, O for the date. It's odd that they didn't do that, because the 8 is basically just 2 stacked O's on these issues. Now the F is visible here, you can see it. It just has a little bit of silver sulfite left on it. I didn't want to mess with it too much here. After I did the initial electrolysis, I just didn't want to ruin the coin. Sometimes if this stuff flakes off, you can lose important details. And what is there, I don't think I'm going to get it to show up on the iPhone, unfortunately. I was hoping I could, but I don't think so, because I don't have a loop. But there is, right at the very top of that F, there's like a little triangle, a little point that is protruding out. And that may be an Assayer A, Antonio de Morales, which was the brother of F, Francisco de Morales. If we could see the lower part of the Assayer's mark, it would probably tell us quite a bit more, and unfortunately we just can't see it. So in another video I will have to share, I've got a 1610/09 F over A, and I'll share that and we can kind of look at that. So right away we can basically rule out that this is a 1616 because of the design elements on the coin. The crown's not right, the border's not right, they are elongated dots, and we have our house cat lions. And the castle as well is not stunted. We have completely different lions by 1616. One of the things, I'm going to have to share that coin too. It's a really interesting piece because there was a new lion punch used in 1613 on to about 1616. In 1615 or 1616, one of those 2 years, the tail on that punch broke. So what they ended up doing was they ended up using this little arm of the tresser to make a tail. It's really weird. So you have this very strange, like, just this weird looking tail. It doesn't make any sense to a lion's tail, but that's what they did. They pieced it together that way. It was quite clever. So yeah, this is a nice coin. The Batang-Hari. That is an interesting wreck for sure. There's been a lot of really interesting pieces out of there. Well, this is my favorite Mexico City mint 8 reales that's come from that shipwreck. I think my favorite has been the Cartagena 1634 reales. The reason being, and I think I did a video on that, but the reason being is that it was an unknown die variety. We hadn't seen it before. That coin had a C over N, Assayer E over the R, and then another Assayer mark below, because the original mint mark there would have been RN or NR, and that particular piece shows NRE, and then it was restruck with the new mint mark for Cartagena with the C, and then the Assayer just put another Assayer mark over the R on that particular piece. That is all left, and then the denomination is right. The only other 1630 I know of is the denomination was left and CE right. Anyway, beautiful coin. Thought I'd share it. Hopefully you get a kick out of it. I don't know. Alright guys, it's hot. I think I'm going to do one more video. I wanted to do a video on some Galano so-called royals, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that today, but I'm going to try. So anyway, this was the 1610. This is again, Mexico City mint, 8 reales, Assayer F, Phil III, 25.21 grams, recovered from the Batang-Hari inlet wreck in Indonesia, or the Spice Islands if you like. And the coin number is 217600C. And as I noted, it is a possible F over A. I'm not 100% sure, but it's possible. So that's it. Hope you guys are staying cool, because I am definitely not. All right, till next time.